So I want to talk about this concept that Neville Goddard talked about in later part of his life, where he was heavy on the promise and not the law. If you don't know what the promise is, basically, in the early part of Neville Goddard's life, he was talking about the law of assumption, which is our own wonderful human imagination. If we apply it, it acts like God, and it is God. And as he progressed in his life, applying the law of assumption, he realized that this world is a dream. And because if this world is a natural physical world, then mind should not influence matter. That shouldn't work. But if any of you have woken up in a dream, this landscape also looks like a dream. I'm in the middle of nowhere. But if you have woken up in a dream, you know that you can do certain things, maybe not everything, but you can do a lot of things. And that immediately shows you that this world is not real. It's a dream. So similarly, when you apply the law of assumption long enough, circumstances will shift in your life. Maybe some things will be small, like manifesting a coffee or a parking spot or small things like that. But some things, if you are a true student of the law of assumption, and you keep going, some things will happen that will be miraculous. Like for example, some people have healed terminal cancer, terminal illnesses, or saving somebody's life, or manifesting money in such a way that it doesn't make sense, like how in a natural physical world it would work like that. But these things will convince you, like they convinced Neville Goddard, that this world is a dream world. Of course, Neville Goddard had this biblical background, as he studied with Abdullah, a Jewish Kabbalistic rabbi who taught him a lot. Basically, all that Neville Goddard initially knew about the law, he learned it from Abdullah, his friend. So he had a strong biblical background, but he interpreted Bible to be a completely psychological drama, and that more and more added on to his theory, which later he said it's a fact. Now he was speaking from experience that this is a dream world. And so the point I'm trying to make is, in a dream, if you are not awake, you go by the motions of the dream. Somebody will attack you and you will physically try to defend yourself, and you will I have died in a dream, so I couldn't do anything about it. And so a dream would be just like this world. Just like if you are subjected to the dream and you're not awake, so you will act just like a human being, and you will be a victim to the world. But the moment you wake up in that dream, you all of a sudden realize that the monster that is approaching you, you can stop them in their tracks just with your thought alone. And that feels like you are some sort of superhero. And the more you do it, the more you realize that you are sort of a god in that world. And Neville Goddard shared a mystical experience in one of his lectures, that he had a vision. I believe he was meditating, and he had a vision where he entered into a room, and in that room there were I think there were it was a hotel area and restaurant, and people were eating, and some waiters were walking around, and there were some birds flying there. And he said that he could stop the entire movement of every single thing in that room with just thought alone. The birds were dead in the tracks, like frozen in air. So he stopped everything with his mind alone. And from this mystical experience, he said that this world is the same. There will come a time when you will be able to do that as well. But that's a mystical story. I just wanted to give a background. That why This world is not what we think it is, because if the law of assumption works for one thing, one simple thing, that should put enough doubt in your mind that this is not a solid physical world, because consciousness is influencing matter. And then I talk about a lot about the Kabbalion, the Hermetic philosophy, where they say that the all is mind, the universe is mental. Basically, there is no physical existence in a sense that this is just everything is a projection, mental projection of of the all, God. And these are all dreams, different dreams, infinite dreams going on in the mind of the all. And in these dreams, you are experiencing certain things. And so if you are unconscious and not awake in that dream, you will be subjected to the dream. This is the whole point I was trying to make in the initially while talking about Neville's experiences. And but if you are awake in this dream, what is waking up in this dream is realizing that your mind has some power here. Initially, you will feel like you have some power, but the more you will apply the law, the more you will realize you have a lot of power. And Neville goes on to say later that you have all the power. So I haven't personally gone that far yet, so I can't say it from experience. But what I'm trying to say is there is a bottom up approach and there is a top down approach. Bottom up approach is the approach of human, which everybody is doing, trying to change circumstances via action. Like, I'm a human being, I have certain limitations, I can only work hard for my money, I can only convince somebody to love me via manipulation. We are trying hard, trying to win their love. There is no unity among anybody, we are all separate, and all that, human experience, natural experience. But the top down approach says what Neville Goddard says, that your own wonderful human imagination is God. This is a experience God made for you to have, to awaken the being within, which is just dreaming, sleeping, and having this human experience. So when you realize that, you realize that the all is mind, the universe is mental. There is no separation between me or anything in this world. And then you come into your true power. Then you can truly change a lot of things in your life, because you realize that the person that I want is basically the same being. We are the same being. This is a drama in the mind of God. And so this being, this other person, we are sharing the same consciousness. So if I think a certain way about this person, and if I feel love for them, if I imagine them with me, it will be so, because this is not a natural physical world like naturalists say. And so you go from top to bottom. You give up on trying to convince anybody for anything. You stop taking foolish action to try hard to work for your money really hard. And I'm speaking from experience. Before I knew the law, I worked really hard and I didn't make much money. As most people know this from experience. And I chased certain people and I couldn't make them fall for me. And I did everything by the book, like as much as I knew, I did it, but it didn't work. So I'm speaking from experience in this perspective, that action did not work for me because I was lacking in consciousness. I was a human trying to go with the approach of bottom up, trying to influence the cosmos by just tiny me. But from top to bottom approach is you assume with your imagination, which is God. You assume with your imagination, which is God, anything. And then God shifts everything around. The all, the infinite dreamer does shakes things around and gets you what you want. He makes the path for you. And you have to basically take zero action. The action will be, you will be compelled to do exactly what you need to do to get exactly what you want. And this is truly empowering. This is truly freeing, the top down approach. And this approach only works when you understand the whole philosophy or mystical uh, knowledge, or whatever you want to call it. You believe in that and you apply it. If you don't, it's because we are so powerful. Whatever we believe, if we believe ourselves to be just a human being, we will have the experience of just a human being struggling with everything, literally. You know, trying to put food on the table, you will struggle with that. And so the point I'm trying to make is, the law is exciting, but try to learn some of the promise by Neville Goddard as well. It's very boring initially because it's very mystical and cryptic. Neville Goddard had this knack of really poetically speaking, and even some words go above my head too. But it really, really gives you the depth of this reality, and you realize that truly something is up with this reality. It's not like we are taught, it's not like how we think it is. This thing is plastic. There is some malleability to it. And Neville goes on to say, of course, he had this experience that he had that total power. I haven't had that yet, but I have, from top down approach, I have had way more success than bottom up approach of the human naturalist viewpoint. So from that, I can speak from personal experience that I have a much better life, that I have right now by applying the law in many ways than I had before the law. So I have seen significant improvement. That is why now I am like, I'm beginning to realize that things are not the way they were taught by everybody else around us. So this was to encourage you to apply the law more so, with more conviction, and start with small things, and it will build up your faith and keep going, and you eventually you will realize the true power, and you will be like, wow, this thing really works. And from there, maybe you can even do miracles. I haven't done something super miraculous yet, like raising the dead, but I have no wish for that right now. I'm just taking things step by step, learning more and more from Neville Goddard. But I'm at this point in my life right now where I can see that this world is more like a dream than we were taught. So this is it for this video. Until next time.